We finally got a release date on Hellblade 2. We've seen a good amount of information on Avowed, and oh my god, Indiana Jones looks insane. And I thought it would be weird me talking about an Indiana Jones first person action adventure. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the developer direct that happened today. You know, I think we can all admit that we were going into this event really hyped, man. We wanted to see more release dates on things such as Avowed. We wanted to see release dates on, you know, Indiana Jones as well as Hellblade. There's a lot of stuff that I particularly had interest going into this. Unfortunately, some of those expectations wasn't met, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's one of those things where, you know, I personally wanted to see more release dates on these. Now let's go into what I'm talking about. First thing we saw was, you know, we saw Avowed. Avowed looks very interesting, and I think I see a lot of people on Twitter that says, you know, this game's not really grabbing them. I don't think this game's meant to grab these individuals. I think this game is meant to grab the people that like Outer Worlds, the people like RPGs. They like a lot of dialogue in their games, you know, good and bad dialogue, you know, choices. I think this is the demographic that games like Avowed is going for. And I think because it's Obsidian, I would understand some people's, you know, fear, but this is Obsidian. They gave us, you know, Fallout New Vegas. They gave us Star Wars Old Republic 2. And I know these games came out a long time ago. They also gave us South Park Stick of Truth, The Outer Worlds, Pillars of Eternity. There is so many solid experiences that you can expect from something like an Obsidian. So even though that I do agree with some of the criticism when it comes to how they presented the initial announcement for Avowed, I still have a lot of faith in Avowed. I think Avowed is going to be a phenomenal game. They did say fall of 2024, which I think that's a good possibility. You know, I don't think Avowed is going to get pushed back to 2025. To be honest with you, I don't think any of these games are going to get pushed back, but I can understand people's mentality when it goes to, you didn't give us really any initial release dates in terms of Avowed, so I can see this game being pushed back. I think Avowed's going to be a sleeper hit. I think people are really going to gravitate towards this game when this game comes out. So next is Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 has always looked great. Hellblade 2 has always been the pinnacle when it comes to what a game visually looks like. You know, you got companies such as Insomniac saying that our new standards is going to be what Hellblade looks like. I don't think anyone's ever really had anything bad to say about the graphics of Hellblade. I think most people's, you know, gripes with Hellblade 2 is, what's the combat looking like? Have they evolved the combat? I need to see more about the combat. They showed a little bit of combat, but to me, I still need to see more huge expansions of combat. Obviously, the game's coming out May 21st, so most likely we're going to see the combat when we jump in it. Interesting enough, after the game was announced, it was also revealed that this will be a digital only game, and it's only going to be $50. You know, put in the comment section below what you guys feel about that. Do you think that is, you know, a bad sign? Do you think that's a red flag? Do you think that maybe Xbox doesn't have a whole lot of faith in Hellblade 2? I'm a little bit in the middle. You know, I think that these companies look for little ways to save money. I don't think it really has a reflection on, you know, the actual product itself. I just think they're looking for more ways to save money. And as far as the price, $50 for the entry edition is an interesting choice. I did think they would try to get 70 out of this. I don't think that says anything necessarily about the game itself. I think they're trying to do a better entry fee going into the game because it is in Game Pass, and I think that their mindset's, look, if we give you, you know, a more suitable, more entry price, then maybe we can get more money up front from people and not necessarily just all Game Pass. That's my mindset in the matter. I do think this game's going to sell okay on Steam. I think it's going to have pretty good legs on it. You know, Hellblade 2 is one of those aspects that, you know, people look at and they just love to see it. I will say, this game graphically is insane. And you guys know how I am. Not a big Hellblade 2 fan in general. You know, I look more to Hellblade 2 to show where they've come from buying them with the initial Hellblade. Now, obviously, they have this strategic game, Aura. You know, I look at that game. It's only on PC right now. I do think it will come to console eventually. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't see an Xbox, you know, release date at least, you know, maybe coming out a little bit later. What I saw looked phenomenal, and, you know, I'm a huge turn-based type of fan. I love the Civilization games when I played them. It's just, I do think that in order to get a lot of the, you know, the console brethren in on this title, we're going to need to see that release date for Xbox. You know, more people went into this looking into the Xbox brand than, you know, PC Xbox brand. And I think that was the biggest issue here, is people wanted to see more of that. A huge thing that kind of threw us all off balance is Square Enix was here with the Mana franchise. The Mana. I don't know how you guys want me to pronounce that, but it was here. Now, as far as this particular game, it's nothing that I think I would play. I kind of generally lean towards more of the turn-based games that Square Enix does, but this is a good initiation that they are bringing more of their games to the Xbox platform. So I would say this is another one of those things that it's like, we're going to see more, you know, Final Fantasy type of games. We're going to see Dragon Quest 12 because they are getting more friendly with these type of games. I think that's phenomenal. I think Square Enix came out there pretty much and said, we aren't going to abandon the Xbox brand. We got you. And I think that's the most important thing out of initially everything here is, you know, the support from the Japanese developers and publishers. I really appreciated that. And I think Xbox did a good job bringing them on stage, especially being that hidden, you know, drop. Indiana Jones. You guys know that I've been very skeptical with them making this game a first-person, you know, action adventure, however you guys want to say. I've always been on it needs to be third-party. What I will say is, even though that they did officially come out and confirm that this game is third-party, I mean, first-person, I do look at this game in the gameplay they showed. They showed a very good showing of Indiana Jones. It did say it's coming out in 2024. It didn't give even a fall release date, which is interesting how they handled that. But when I look at the gameplay, even though it's first person, it looks absolutely phenomenal. It definitely looks like one of those games where I've always said they need to be more upfront with these licensed IPs. Indiana Jones stole the show to me. You know, I would have wanted more of player's choice on if they wanted to play this first person or third, because to me they did have to battle by making it to where first person is generally most of the game, and you know, when you're traveling through anything and doing any kind of traversal and cutscenes, that will be third person. So it's like, if you went that far, you should have just gave us the choice on what we wanted to do. But I understand at the end of the day, you know, they got to make this game the way they want to make it. And you know, if you see anything playing Wolfenstein, you could tell that this is a studio that is very good at telling a narrative and very good at being very immersive with the first person aspect. Now, a lot of studios do this very well, but if you go back and play the old Wolfenstein games, you could see that they do this well. And I think that Indiana Jones was a good fit for this company. And what we were seeing, you know, you're seeing jumping from plane to plane. He was climbing on like these giant blimps. Like, it's looking phenomenal. And I really, really like that. As far as the overall show, good, man. It was good. Now, like I said, I was very disappointed with the lack of release dates. I understand what they're coming from. Maybe some of these games, they don't exactly know what month or date they're going to hit, but they know they're going to hit, you know, the 2024 release date. To me, when I saw all these games come out there without a release date, the first thing I thought of is, oh God, they're going to show these games again in the June showcase. And I hope that's not the case. I hope they do like a direct, kind of like they did with Starfield last year, where they show more of this and then they give the release date. I would have loved just release dates in general this year. I think this year is going to be a great show for Xbox. I think Xbox is going to have a phenomenal 2024, and I'm really excited about 2024 for them. You know, with all the other games, third party, even if you have a PlayStation, this is going to be a great year for gamers. And I appreciate everyone coming through. You know, if you like this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. I make daily content, and I stream over there at the Addict Arena. You can catch all that in the description below. Appreciate all the support, and until next time, this is Gaming